Conservation Commission meeting, October 23rd, present are
Amy Pollock.
Evelyn Miller.
Collis Adams, Select Board Representative.
Jackie Cohn.
Patty Gale, Planning and Zoning Assistant.
Jean Walker.
David Neiman.
Jane Raymond.
Andrew Chaplin.
Okay, first on our agenda tonight is request for a recommendation to ZBA for impact to the inner 500-foot, 50-foot buffer of the WC district. Map 25, Lot 41, proposal to build a single-family home and associated escape improvement that will be located within the inner 50-foot buffer of the Wetland Surface Water Conservation District. The property is located off of Dermis Park Road, owned by Ernest Thibault, and the applicant is Vinnie Mobility, and the property is zoned residential 2. Do we have someone to present this?
I'm Vincent Iacozzi for Ernest Thibault, and this is Mr. Thibault.
Hi, Ernie Tito. Good evening.
We're here tonight with a revision of the plan we presented several years ago. We have a complicated area where the river is here, and we have a set of setbacks for the river. We have a brook in the back, and we have the setbacks for the brook. So as a result, it looks like one of the hurricane spaghetti maps, but everything fits right in the middle, so we're encroaching on 2 buffers. Subsequent to our last meeting, we shrunk down the house a little bit, and we recalibrated the septic system, and we reduced the total impact that our permit requires from 6,090 square feet to the impact of 4,470 square feet. So the impacts to the buffers, depth of the encroachment varies 45 feet from behind the house, which is right here, and then 15 feet around the leach field, where you can see right here on the green line. And everything is all, excuse me, everything else is far enough away from all the traditional setbacks, the shoreline, wetlands and everything, and those are the only encroachments, which are very slight. So we are requesting the variance for the septic system and the building to allow this dimensions for the construction of the property. So it would be 45 feet on one and 15 feet on the other.
Yeah, you got one? Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, go on. No.
Go ahead, Evelyn.
Well, I was just curious, the floods, the floodplain, is that, do they set that for like a 100-year storm or a 50-year storm, or is there anything like that?
Floodplain in the offset is right here,
The orange, right.
right?
Well,
Just be
he is in the
slightly
flood
beyond it.
hazard district.
Right,
So it is, that is
Yeah.
right, it is a
Yeah.
hazardous district in terms of flooding.
right.
Yeah, and there will be, house will be elevated with the foundation above the 100-year floodplain line.
Yeah, he'll have to construct it a specific way.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Water
that'll
will
be,
go
With
And the
the
septic
foundation
system?
drains and all the utilities.
I guess I'm concerned about
right,
septic.
if I may,
No, this-
we've updated we've got the shoreline protection permit, and we've updated the septic, as I said, we reduced the size of it a little bit, because we reduced the house size also, and we just issued that in 2024, early 24 by the state. So we have an active septic system that's been approved, an elevated one, and then we also have the shoreline protection permit from them. Also, those were, this thing goes back 3 or 4 years, so those were both reapproved.
Right.
We have reapplied this year, Well, I think one was 23 and one was 24.
Right.
So they're both active at the state and they're approved.
So you said you reduced the impact, and you achieved that by reducing the house size
Yes.
and reducing the footprint of the septic system?
Yes,
And and actually shifting it a little bit.
And you shifted it?
shifted it, yeah. And this is part of a 3-acre lot that's almost there. And it goes, I don't know if you're familiar with the Dumas Park, but it's a dirt road, goes around the corner. We'd come down, we here a few years ago and mentioned maybe, giving some of the land for a boat ramp or something down there, but no one was very interested in that, so.
Because they
we
didn't
got
want public parking.
I remember now.
Yeah, so no, we didn't go any further with that, but there's additional land down there too that would never be, could have a conservation easement or something, or would never to be built on. It's just, this is part of almost a 3-acre lot. So we're trying to get some benefit to it. I've paid taxes on it since it was made into a separate lot since 2006, so I've spent a little, and it's been assessed as a buildable lot. I think it's assessed at $91,000. So it's been assessed as a buildable lot too. So I paid my share of some taxes on it.
Shane?
Yes.
I just have a question of why the septic couldn't be located in the upland area instead of because it's in the floodplain and it's in the shoreline offset and it's in the wetland offset, and there is an upland area. I don't know if it's big enough, but
There's no way to turn it, to get it into the upland area. You'd still end up, if you turned it, you'd be hitting another line. So we kind of have it squeezed in there.
I'm
The
thinking
the
further
upland
to
the upland area is almost 200 feet away from the house.
there.
That's not really feasible. You're going to have a sewer pumping line from the house almost 200 feet
Up the hill, yeah.
up the hill.
So you have to have a mini pump station kind of thing to
Well-
even get something to
I
accomplish
guess,
that.
I guess my question, the reason I asked that question is because this is a wetland area, and when you make a septic, you are making, I assume, some sort of a mound.
Correct.
So the water that was once upon a time where the septic is going to be placed is going to be displaced.
These are setbacks, not wetlands. These are setback lines from the wetlands, not the wetlands lines.
Maybe I was looking at the wrong map, because I thought it showed wetland right in the middle. Sure, no.
No, these are the wetlands offsets.
Yeah, no, I
It's
see.
an offset, it's not the wetlands line.
The dark green is the wetlands line.
Correct.
So the house has been raised so that the finished floor elevation is above the 100-year flood elevation?
That's correct.
That I
Yep.
understand?
That's correct.
So the house will.
And how much separation is there between the bed bottom and groundwater? Did you get?
Well, it's statutory.
Did you get? I know, but did you meet it?
Yeah, well, the state issued us a permit.
Yeah, oh, I know that.
So obviously
I issued hundreds and
I
hundreds.
know you have
Yeah, you
calls.
know.
I know. No, but I'm saying, we went through some
Okay.
hoops to get this.
No,
Just
septic-
just a question, just.
Yeah, I don't know the elevation. I think we'd
Okay.
fib it if we told you what that was. I
Okay.
don't know exactly.
Well, actually, it's all in the detailed,
Okay.
the functions and values reports and
So
everything.
so it's a raised bed. Is there also a pump system, did I say?
Yes.
Did I hear you say it's a pump up?
Yep.
Okay.
So you've been to the state, you've put applications in.
Yeah, we got our permits back. Our permits are for the shoreline and for the septic, yeah.
Now you need town.
Yes.
Well, we couldn't even talk to the town until we had the shoreline permit.
Right.
It was this map I was looking at.
Oh, that's why I made it bigger.
Right, but it shows what I thought was a wetland with the
The
little,
thin green line is the wetland setback, the big green line is the wetlands.
so it's over this way.
Yeah.
The 50-foot
I have
setback.
another big plan, but it would be easier.
So this is
The
20,
light green one is the 50-foot setback.
Correct.
which is basically
when was the lot line adjustment done? Was it is
The
it
house is
94?
in,
I think,
Was it 94,
No, I think.
99? I'm
No,
trying to
I
read
think
it.
it was '06. Eric Mitchell did a,
Well, I'm looking at the plan back when
This
they
one?
did it. Yeah, because I'm just looking at the grandfather clause for, because if you're talking about the wetlands, not the actual surface water, he's probably only has to be 50 feet from the actual wetlands. Yeah, the surface water is a grandfather.
anybody else have questions right now? Patty's looking up.
Yeah, I'm looking at the, where is it? That's not it.
David? Any-
It's the, oh, I'm in the flood hazardous guy, I was in that before.
Chorus?
So you
Anything?
said you reduced the size of the home, was it, so, but it's still a 4-bedroom?
but it's a duplex.
It's a duplex?
yeah, but it's very, each side's only 700 square feet on the,
Okay.
of surface. It's very small. It's more like the micro living where, yes, everyone's trying to do.
What's the-
So what's shown on the plan when you mentioned everything was reduced is the 2,500 gallon, the reduced size?
No, we just shifted it. Originally, we had it was further outside, so we pulled it in.
I thought I heard you say you made the house smaller and
Oh,
also...
we made the house smaller,
And
yes.
also, I thought I heard you say the septic you also made
Well,
smaller.
slightly, but we just reconfigured it.
Okay, so,
The water capacity for the septic system remains the same because of the bedrooms. It doesn't change with the size of the house.
so you
It's the
just
bedrooms.
shrunk the size but not the number of bedrooms? Okay, so it is still at
Yeah, the flow stays the
2,500,
same because of the bedrooms.
2,500 gallon.
Right.
So depending on the size, this is just for a wetland. So between 1993 and 2003, if the actual wetland area is less than 2,000, there's no setback. If it's over 2,000, there's a 50-foot setback. And then it goes from 2003 to 2008, so if it falls in that, it's still none for less than 2,000, and it's 50 between 2,000 and 20,000, which it's not. So you could have just a 50-foot setback, depending on the size of the wetland, not the stream in the back and the
Right.
river. If that's what you were looking at, right, Jane?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It's just this map, it just shows the little,
Yeah, and if they're
Wetland.
under, it looks like if it's under 2,000 square feet, he doesn't even have a setback from the actual little wet area. I'm
Yeah,
just,
Originally, when we had the larger one, we were pushed into, we were 9 feet into the grandfather portion.
okay.
That's why we moved it up.
my concern is simply where is the water gonna go if you've got a mound here that if the water is, I
No
mean,
water
it's a
from-
low place to begin with. Where is that water gonna go? Is it gonna stay on the property or is it gonna go off the property?
You mean it's water that's being generated from the septic system?
No,
No, like-
like
Just
runoff,
water,
Flood?
just the wet
Rain.
water.
snow,
Right, okay.
precipitation.
Natural, right.
Well, Mr. Tebow's been living there for over 20 years, and we own the house right next to it. He's still there, and the house is still standing, so.
We've had a couple of floods, no. And you could, I don't want to get too complicated, but you got a lot more land there, you could mitigate something or do something if you're concerned about any kind of flood storage, but I don't know that that's,
Actually, this whole area here, when we first started this in 2017, this brook was almost dry, and you just walked through it. And this is all storage area right here. This whole area right here is lower than the house and the septic.
in the road area there.
Yeah.
In the road, yeah.
Yeah, on all the way down.
That's all lower.
That's all, it's all lower.
Okay.
Yeah, and the mound is in the middle.
Any other, everyone?
No, I have a relative that lives in North Carolina, in Asheville.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, the minute I look at this, I'm saying, oh, God.
I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I'm gonna be there
They're on the
tomorrow.
mountain.
Oh, are you? Oh, man, oh, what a mess. I'm
So,
sorry.
No, it's okay, sure.
And so, yeah,
I just have a question on the septic. You know, being because of the water source that's right there, is this gonna be a standard one, or are you doing any type of treatment, like a night D-night, like they're doing on the Cape now, and they're enforcing that for nutrients?
No, that's not a requirement here.
I didn't know if you were opting in on that as just like a
Eventually, it
protection
probably will be.
for Scattaqua River.
So can you clarify something, please?
Yes.
On the plan, the orange line is labeled floodway, and in the legend, it calls it the flood
Plain.
Plain.
plain. Those are two different things.
Yes.
So which is it? Is it the floodway or the floodplain?
Well, I believe
I'm
this is
guessing.
the floodway line, and the floodplain line is up here. The line is drawn through the
Oh,
type.
I see
up
it.
here.
Yeah, it's way up there.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
Flood.
Thank you.
And floodway.
Yeah, the floodway line's down here, the
Yeah,
floodplain
what's
line's
the
up here.
What's the difference?
A floodway is more restrictive along the water body. Floodway is a wider, broader area down through like a river system, if you will. But I see the two lines now, thank you.
It's just they're both orange, so it's a
Yeah.
little confusing.
Yeah,
If I put any more colors on you, we'd be.
we like colors.
We had a lot of colors. Anybody else have any questions, concerns, or?
Because it's within a wetland, is there restrictions to specific pesticides or anything being used in that area too?
To protect the river.
Yeah, and the wetlands there.
I don't understand the question.
Will there be any restrictions on pesticides that are allowed to be used on the property to protect the river and the wetlands?
Normally, just would be town regulations.
Well, it would be a shoreline consideration
Right,
too,
and shoreline
at the state level.
considerations, right.
And you've got your shoreline permit, you said.
Yes, we do.
And was there a condition on there relative to application of fertilizers or pesticides? I'm sorry, I don't have a copy of it in front of me, so. A lot of times they'll say slow release nitrogen. Fertilizer.
Yeah, that would be on the grass area. Right?
Yep, right.
Didn't the state just pass a law that they've taken the phosphate out of the fertilizers? I thought, I read that, I thought that was the, yeah. 'cause
They're,
No, there's no, there's
Okay,
not.
all right.
we're labeling it now. And
Well, that's under their jurisdiction, so if they didn't flag it, then I assume
Yeah.
they considered it and determined it to be okay.
One who enforces it.
What's that?
One who enforces it. Yeah.
Right,
No one.
No, I was just gonna say.
So does
proper
there,
application and whatnot of it.
so it's not showing a driveways or a garage or anything?
The driveways are coming right in off the Dumont Park Drive, straight in, and the area disturbed.
Is that one drive, I mean, what's, is it for
We're gonna
two
put a
cars or
single garage for each side,
for each side? So two garages and,
and the impervious area for the house and the driveway total 1,700 square feet.
Is this a single family or a two family?
A duplex.
duplex.
Single driveway?
I thought it was a single family.
Well, it's
Got
two,
two
two
small
garages.
single driveways
So
separate.
two single driveways going, okay.
Thanks, I'm good. I'm good.
Save your customer?
Patty, do you have a copy of the shoreline permit?
Yeah, they have it.
Yeah, okay.
They all get it got mailed to
We have
them.
other copies if you want.
No, we have it.
No, this is,
I'm sorry, I didn't see it, Mike.
It's all attached to the ZBA application.
Yeah.
I just did not know it was a duplex, because everything what you've been talking to me, it's always been, I'm building a home. I didn't
Well,
know it
the
was a
thing is,
duplex.
And I think that's what we
Because I have
Yeah,
to
it was
specify that in the notice.
yeah, the amount of the bedrooms was for the septic.
Yeah, because some people have a 4-bedroom house.
But I think that's when we read it was a single family. Yeah.
So it's gonna be a duplex home with two attached garages?
No.
And two
drive under.
driveways.
No garage?
Just to drive under, we're gonna drive.
Oh, the drive under,
Right,
you're
that's
gonna
all.
use that for,
Yeah,
yeah,
use the
that makes
foundation you
sense.
have, yeah.
Yeah,
Make it
there is a lot of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Well, it gives us the ability to take
Duplex
the
with
floor up.
garage,
Florida.
with garage under.
Not disturb any more, not disturb any more area, actually.
Alright, I just need to know that, so I can pass it on when we do those.
It's in this packet, I found it.
Yeah, you have a copy of the septic plan that he submitted. You have a copy of the
Septic
report,
is here,
you have a copy of his permit. It was all attached to his questions that he answered for the ZBA application.
Do you have anything else? Questions or comments or? They're gonna need
And I don't know if
a
it says.
recommendation to be sent on to the CBA.
Now, this isn't here that the shoreline permit expired last year.
It was renewed.
It was renewed, okay.
Yep, it was renewed,
It's not the old one.
and it's good, we have another 5 years on it.
Okay, cool.
Because the one you gave me is a September 4th, 2023.
And
So that
I got the email back about 3 weeks ago. I didn't include the email.
Okay,
For the
can you,
extension.
can you email it? I'm just, I'll forward to the ZBA too. If you email it to me,
Yes, I
you know,
will.
tomorrow. Thank you.
And the same for the septic, because we resubmitted the septic already. That's what we got the report back on.
Okay. Is this the updated septic that you gave me, or is
Yes,
this? Okay.
that's the updated one.
All right, that's already in here.
Right.
Okay.
So the only thing you need is the update, the extension on the permit.
Yeah. Yep.
I believe you when you send it as extended, believe me, I'm not questioning you. I just find it ironic that in the document it says, this permit shall not be extended beyond the current expiration date.
Yeah, I was just reading that, so.
No, there's actually 2 windows in it. For the extension.
Which would just be an important reason for you to make sure you do forward that extension, because this document says otherwise.
Right.
This is
Okay.
toxic stuff.
That was number 6 of the general conditions. I was looking.
Do you have it there in that packet, or it should be there?
You can give it to me tomorrow.
Okay, do we
I don't
have
think I have it in.
comments to send on to ZBA?
Here you go.
Good job, Eddie.
And then I got the confirming email.
He's giving it to you,
David.
David.
No,
They give you 2 windows, a 2-year and a 5-year.
yeah, I'm just pointing that out to you, just make sure you include it.
We do. We usually try to come prepared with everything where it's supposed to be. Saves everybody a lot of time and trouble.
Does indeed.
What do we want to send on to ZBA? Baby, do you have any suggestions?
To the relevant details in this application, not necessarily, I just personally feel it's crazy to be building things in floodways and floodplains. Even if they're elevated, it makes no sense.
You know, one thing I'm thinking is because it's a very sensitive area and you have two people, renters, or maybe they're buyers, but there are a lot of things about being very careful, watching this, don't do this, you know, in this whole permit. Who is going to be overseeing that,
Mr.
those
Tebow will be
things?
right across the street, and there will be rental units.
Well, they'll obviously, well, as we're building it, right, you'll have your building inspector here that's been doing that, your town officials that will
No,
be
it's-
inspecting it, and you're saying as far as,
Once they live there
okay.
and the stuff that they do, which,
But you could say that for,
Yeah,
there's so many people, if you look at the building that's gone on around the river in the last 10 or 15 years, there's been some McMansions approved, there's been all kinds of stuff built in the floodplain there, so we've, I think it's a very low impact for 3 acres of land. I don't think there's a 3 acre lot on that river anymore. You know, and the rest of it, as I mentioned before, can have an easement over it, you know, the no build easement, anything. I don't really care about that, it's just I think it's not a very high impact for the size of the lot.
and we can't police the activities of the general public. I mean, they go through what they have to get their state and local approvals, and if they do, and they meet the regulations, we're done.
unless we see that they're doing
So
something.
and then it'll become a code enforcement issue
That's right.
for our code enforcement officer. That's why we have rules and regulations.
No, I don't disagree with you, I just, it's, I don't know what to comment to ZBA, I don't have something I want to say.
Well, you can say you reviewed and you have no comment.
Yep.
You can say that if you want to. We have no comment on this
Do we have
application.
concerns, though? No comment, but,
I mean, it's in a floodplain,
yeah.
you know, we're, I don't have any comment.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with it being a floodplain, that's where ZBA is supposed to make that decision, so, based on their knowledge.
That's okay.
I don't have any conservation comments for it.
I mean, you could also say must be built to the regulations of, that are
Because
required
it's
to
in the
build in the
floodplain.
floodplain.
Yeah.
That's implied,
Yeah, that's implied.
yeah.
That's important. Okay.
But it's in all these shoreland permits and, I mean,
Yeah.
that they have to use silt fence and
Yep.
protect them. While the construction's going on, I think it's, as he said, we've got the building
the
inspector, all of that. No,
And the state does the inspections as well.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep.
yep.
And they would have had to have a construction sequencing and erosion control plans for all of that stuff prior to getting state permits issued. They would have checked on all of that and required all of those things.
What did Andrew said something? Andrew.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
I just said that I didn't have any concerns with conservation, because I think ZBA is gonna make the decision based off from what they have. And according to our codes here, it's up to them to determine if
No
there is
comment.
any changes to the waterway based off from what's being built there, so,
Make,
which isn't for us.
like, we make no comment at this time because the ZBA.
Yeah, I mean, I personally have no recommendations for conservation concerns, or no comments on
Is anybody
conservation
else?
concerns.
No.
No, everybody.
Sorry.
It's a tough one because we see the floodplain and we are concerned, but we also see the other side.
So I'm gonna
Do you-
let ZBA know that I submitted it to the Conservation Commission for comment, and you guys have no comment.
I mean, you can tell them that we,
I have to say something,
I
because
know,
I
we
have
have
to
to
say
say-
I
we have-
well,
followed
there was a
through.
presentation,
We have to.
we had a presentation,
Presentation,
and we asked some questions, and we have no,
you provided no
And-
comments.
right.
Yeah, and that they would provide for the floodplain.
What are you saying?
Collis?
If there was a need for compensatory flood storage, that's a federal regulation.
Yeah, that's not-
Right.
And apparently they didn't find the need for
Mm-hmm.
any compensatory flood storage, so it's outside of our purview, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I will say you heard a presentation and the conservation provided no comments. That's what I
I
would
think that
pass on.
summarizes it.
I think that summarizes it.
Okay.
Cool.
And what exactly does that get us?
No comments from me.
Well, no,
Negative review, Vinnie, don't you know that?
We're not, they'll let the ZBA decide
Well, then
There's-
the ZBA
yeah.
without their input.
Our role
what
is
they're
to,
doing.
our role is to submit comments to the planning board, and they will take that into consideration when they make their decision.
It's not going to planning.
ZBA.
It's going to
ZBA.
ZBA. And it's the same
Yeah.
as planning for the outer buffer.
Yeah.
You need, they have to come here to get comments, so we,
The point's the same.
okay. Provide no comment. Okay. That's what I'm going to say.
We're on our own at the ZBA.
Another one.
We good then?
Yeah.
All right, thank you all for your time, we appreciate it.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, you too.
I also have a relative
I
in
know.
Houston that's in the floodplain, and that was a, you know,
That's what
Oh,
cities.
well, didn't it rain for like 4 days? And it was, we got 40
hurricanes.
40 inches of rain in one.
I mean, I
Okay,
just,
we have
but
corrections or acceptance of the minutes of September 25th.
I had those, now I don't
Does
have.
anybody have any corrections?
I moved to approve the minutes.
They look awesome.
Make motion?
Yeah, I make a motion.
Did you take them, Patty?
Get a
Approve the
second?
minutes.
I wasn't here, so I haven't heard.
Okay, we have a second on the minutes.
Were you at the last meeting?
Somebody
Second
second.
on the minutes?
Second on the minutes.
on the minutes.
Thank you. All those in favor?
I,
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining?
Abstain.
Okay.
Are you abstaining
I
too?
wasn't
3
here.
abstentions?
Three abstain, yeah.
Okay.
And we have, let's see, lot, this is a plan review with map 7, lot 39-7, 39-8, and 39-9. A subdivision lot line adjustment for the proposal to subdivide map 7, lot 39-A into 2 tracts of land, merging one portion to the property to lot 39-7 and merging the other portion to the lot 37-39. No new lot will be created. The properties are owned by Daniel and Pacific Burke, located on 49 Orchard Hill, and Ryan and Nancy North, located on 41 Orchard Hill Road.
Yeah.
Zone area.
No new lot will be created.
So what, was there a lot before?
So, I'll explain it. So, if you look at the big plan, I passed out a small one because they emailed me or, because they answered staff comments. So they wanted us to see it because they're really minor comments. So, this was a lot right here. And the owner, the Burks own this lot too.
Patty, we're gonna have trouble.
You want me to do the big one?
Yeah,
All right.
and you know what?
Take mine.
Do you want me to put ours up?
No.
Thanks a lot.
so
We've already talked about it.
Patty, did you say that this was a typo where it says now new lot?
Yeah, it's supposed
Okay.
to be no.
Just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
There's no, they're
Okay.
making the 2 abutting lots bigger.
Got it.
Okay. So, this right here is one lot.
Can you see?
There's no house, it's never been built on. This person owns this lot, so what they're proposing to do is to subdivide it in half equally, merge it with this lot, and merge it with this lot. So they adjusted the plan, the smaller one that you're seeing, because they needed to change how they came off of the cul-de-sac, and they wanted them to put a monument, so he addressed that in that smaller plan that I distributed. And this is the easement that goes to the open space. This is an open space subdivision. And at first, they were proposing to dissolve this and relocate it, but because the comments from staff were that you need to have all the homeowners in that association, which probably there really is an association, because a lot of them fall apart after they get approved. They would all the people would have to sign off to relocate it. So now they're not proposing to relocate that, they're gonna leave it right where it is.
Which is,
How
can you
many are
point
in
to
that
it?
subdivision?
It goes right along here.
Right, how many are in that subdivision?
I
How
wanna say
big
it's
is,
17.
that's it, 17 is
I
it?
think it's like 17,
But you're saying that's monumental?
because that's from
to-
memory. I'd have to look at the abutters list, because I had to notify everyone in that subdivision.
Well, if I were the owner of that lot, I would love to. I'd run around to 17 people and see about having that.
Maybe afterwards they would, but
Okay. Okay,
I mean, so basically, it's like a lot line adjustment, lot merger.
right, right.
And I didn't have them, ask them to come in because the surveyor is way up in, hurry up,
Yeah.
further. And I said I thought I could explain it.
Mhm.
What is the zoning map?
Agricultural. Okay. Should be on here.
Well, that's interesting. Let's see.
So
How
those
do you
lots,
see-
existing lots in an agricultural are already under 2 acres?
Well, in an open space subdivision, you can have reduced
Oh,
lot
okay, because
sizes.
it's open space, I'm sorry.
I'm now looking to
Yeah.
make sure I'm right on that. Orchard Hill Road, I'm assuming is,
No, that's okay, it doesn't matter, you kind of answered my, I didn't realize
I'm like looking on the
previously an
The
open
zoning
space
should be on.
subdivision.
So is this the?
So
Now we
it'll,
know.
they'll each become 1.65 acres after they merge it.
Yeah, I know, I get
1.65.
that, but
Taking that.
where is the, open space easement?
Okay, and they're currently 1.1.
Oh, just that.
It's a right of way.
Yeah, it's agricultural.
It's just a right of way.
Agriculture, it's only
okay.
one. Open, because it's an open space.
Yeah, she said it can be.
Okay.
Yeah, with open space, you can have reduced lot sizes and reduced setbacks.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just didn't realize it was open.
So do we have any comments on this?
There,
I would say
Okay.
absolutely no
But
issues of
this-
concern.
this is the
Yeah, I don't-
way to it.
I don't have a problem.
The pathway to it is
Yeah.
right here.
So what do you-
No issues of concern?
Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
David, he
David.
just made that.
No issues of
Yeah.
concern?
I just second,
And 1 second.
yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposing? Okay.
So do have one question now, so this was on the agenda, it's plan review by staff, so.
That was
This
me.
has not gone to the planning board?
Oh, it was just meaning I was gonna review it. I wasn't having a presentation.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for that,
If I see like environmental issues, I'll say you really should come in or, you know, but, even the gentleman, when he goes to planning, the owner, Mr. Burke, he's doing the presentation. Cause as surveyors are harder and harder to get, he went way up to Berlin to get a surveyor.
Okay, correspondence, we have violation for the work exceeding approval on
Did we just pass all that?
permit, and we have a few other shoreline permits from Lynchfield Park, and
For the
also we have paid
for the violation, did they say what it was?
It's an abutter complaint to the state saying they were doing more than their
Oh.
shoreline permit was approved for.
Gotcha,
So they have to now react to that to see if there is a violation.
gotcha. Have they done that yet? No.
That I don't, I just got a copy of the letter,
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, he does have a shoreline permit
Yeah,
for,
I'm
if he's
assuming.
building a house.
I don't think we have any other questions on those.
Yeah, I added 2 more at the end.
The shoreline permit for map Litchfield Park for a road and
A deck
Yeah.
porch addition.
Porches.
If it's in our 100-foot buffer, you would have, you'll see, I haven't gotten, whatever they issued to the state, I haven't been given a copy. I actually had to go online and look at
So
some
they
of
haven't come
these.
in yet,
No,
okay.
no, I haven't seen anything come in for that. So I don't know if they're trying to get the shoreline before they do, but I haven't, or they did it online by permit, by notification, but I have not been handed you know, you get the shoreline permit?
Yeah.
I haven't been given any of those in a little while, other than the one for the bridge for the town.
Okay, so that pretty much
Um,
covers that.
Yeah,
The
so
dues have been paid. And the invoice for the milfoil down at Novascus Lake is cost less than we approved, and, yeah. David, do you have anything for open space?
Just a very brief update, so on the Sugar Bush Farm easement, I've been waiting for months and months to hear what the final statement was from the feds on the agricultural grant part of that project. And we always thought we would get it, and the answer is yes, we will get it.
Oh,
Nice.
But now the language of the draft of the easement has to go through the approval process with them, just like it does with every participant. Because, we're getting grants from LCHIP and Moose Plate, and of course, the town money we put in. Everybody has to review the easement document, make sure the executory interests are all in line. But of course, this one going back to DC is, we'll get the comments someday.
oh boy.
I'm not gonna make any predictions on how long that will take, and so basically I'm waiting for that before I wanna start, hearings here in town, because, I asked the
Yeah.
selectmen, the select board to start a hearing to approve accepting executory interest until I can give you a copy of it, in writing to read. So, yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay.
I
Yes,
have another item for the agenda.
what's that? Oh, when you talked about the,
Well, you guys
ahead.
appointed me to go to the, what's the name of this committee, Collis? The
River Advisory Committee.
Rivers Advisory Committee. And I've been to 2 meetings,
oh,
and Collis has been to 2 meetings, because he's,
The same two?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but I just thought since I was the conservation
right.
rep, I should at least tell you that I went, and that we had a very informative presentation. by-
2 hour presentation.
Yeah, the whole meeting, by the,
Corey Clark,
he's the chief dam
chief engineer.
Oh,
engineer. He was very informative and answered a lot of questions.
about the dam?
Dams.
Dams, right, 3
and-
dams.
And floods, and
Wow.
what's going on in the state, and the issues with funding. I mean, it's so complicated. Anyway, I'm going,
Thank you.
and I'm here to report that I went and that I heard, and I don't really have anything to tell you except that I think the timeline for this
Hadley Falls.
Just
Thank you, Carlos. The Hadley Falls Dam is in the 4 to 5 year.
That's the one in center of town where they do pumping regatta.
Right. So that one
That's gonna be-
is,
It's going away.
it's going, but
Not
it isn't gonna-
Not tomorrow.
you're not gonna
Yeah.
wake up tomorrow and have it be gone.
Right.
And I think one of the concerns of this committee was people are asking,
What?
when do you think this is gonna happen? And he gave us a rough idea of 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
Because there's FERC and there's fish ladder issues and
Well,
flood.
that's down in Nemasket, yeah.
Anyway, there's a lot of,
Before it can be taken out, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
there's a lot
Yeah,
of
it's
stuff.
not gonna happen overnight. It's-
And the funding is, they've got to get the funding, and they don't have it from the state.
And there's
so.
a lot of studies that have to be done, because, when you pull that dam, all the sediment that's accumulated behind it, they have to know what's gonna happen with that.
Right.
What's the characterization of the sediment? I mean, there used to be industrial activity down there, so you don't know.
Well, the town landfill was up there.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of studies that are gonna have to be done.
Before.
And DES did submit a conceptual plan that shows walkways and pavilions and
But they
fishing
didn't-
access, and
But they didn't get the funding for any of that.
not yet.
Anyway,
They're hopeful, but
I just thought I should
Yeah, thank you.
tell
Come
them.
So
bring
do
you back the information,
What was
yes.
the projection that, what is it gonna look like once that dam is gone?
I don't
Hadley
think they've
Falls?
gotten that far.
It would be a river. It would just be the river.
Yes.
The impoundment,
So it's still about the same and it's kind of little rapidy, rocky,
But
Well,
the,
that's the problem, you don't know what it's gonna look like, because you
They
don't know
won't
what
know.
channel the river is gonna take once
No.
the dam comes out.
But there'll be a waterfall.
Yeah, could
yeah,
be.
but he did say it might go over towards the other side, or it might come back.
wow.
It'll go where it wants to.
It goes where it wants.
Yeah, but then,
Yeah.
because we have a road on either side, right? I mean, and,
Not that close.
Well, the bridge is up above,
Yeah,
but,
They should be far enough away,
okay.
because it will.
That's down the road.
mhm.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay, we do thank you, Jane, and call us
And
to,
call
well,
us.
thank
and
you
a
for
quick
going.
update on the Village Pedestrian Ad Hoc Committee, which I serve on. We had a little area at the Pumpkin Weekend. And we had 100 flyers that we had printed up. We handed out 85 of them. So there's a lot of interest in what's going on down there and the potential for a pedestrian bicycle bridge to go where the old railroad trestle bridge was.
Oh,
But there's a lot of money fundraising that's gonna have to
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah.
If we get a federal grant, it'll pay for 80%, but there'll still be 20% that'll have to be coming from somewhere.
Okay.
Well, I've
we
been
get
on,
one of those thermometers and fill it in.
no, I was gonna say, I even
Those other
met
grants.
David on one
Coin
of the,
collections.
I was out walking on the Rails to Trail, and I met him biking, and then later I've been biking, and they are used heavily.
Oh, they are.
Just, it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So, and to have a bridge go across would be really, really
Yeah.
nice.
And
Okay, so we have a motion to adjourn?
I have a question.
One of them's first, one
She has a
second.
question.
Oh, sorry.
Next meeting.
Oh, yes, we gotta do
Yeah,
that, sorry.
Good question.
Good.
I know. They all wanna,
Cancel
Yeah,
the one
December,
that's
right?
Thanksgiving Eve,
right.
and, you don't wanna meet on Christmas,
Let's do something.
so
Rather not.
I reserved for December 11th, because by the email, that's what I was seeing. Does that
Yes.
work for everyone to meet on December 11th?
Yeah.
So it's in between the two? Does that work?
It did the last time I looked, yes.
And the room's available, I know, like, that's what I was checking.
Okay, now do we want to adjourn?
So we agree to change the meeting date to December 11th? Okay.
Yeah.
Next meeting.
So one meeting for November and December.
November, yeah.
Just
And Connie, you had mentioned there might not be anything on the agenda.
Yeah, there might not, and I can tell you, the deadline for the planning board, they're only meeting once for a regular meeting next month, and I so far have not received anything for that meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, so they, they're working on zoning changes and stuff like that anyway.
I do have a question. It's
Yes,
not a conservation question, but the subdivision that was going off of Bog Road, that went belly up, and then they
They
put-
started,
It's
I was gonna say, and
still
then they
alive.
put.
yep, they
Oh,
started
good.
again.
Great, because it really looked really nice, actually, and we spent a lot of time on our
We sure
sidewalks.
did.
And yeah, no kidding, over the years, but I mean, it really is a nice looking one, but, okay, so it started up again.
Yep.
Great.
okay, now.
Motion to adjourn?
Yeah, you made the motion. Evelyn, second?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposing? Abstaining?
Great. Do you want us to pass these out?
Yeah.